Welcome to the In Love with PMDD podcast. I am your host, Dr. Rose, your PMDD Relationship Psychotraumatologist, and I help you stop the monthly PMDD breakups. PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It is in approximately 1 in 5 women, and it makes you want to break up with your partner approximately 1 to 2 weeks before your period every single month. So as someone who has suffered with PMDD for over 18 years, I dedicated my doctorate practice to helping partners navigate those monthly PMDD breakups with everything from attachment styles, triggers, sensitivity to noise, sensitivity to touch, all of the things that you really struggle with when you're in PMDD. And I also dedicated my dissertation to a phenomenological study of the relationship experiences of partners of individuals who suffer with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So I'm not just here to help the sufferer, the one who is suffering with PMDD. I am here for the partners as well. So if you need those private sessions, make sure you go to inlovewithpmdd.com and get those tools. So let's get into this week's PMDD Trauma Transformational Tools that is going to help you stop the monthly breakups and stop the suffering and stress in your PMDD relationship. Let's get into it. Welcome to the PMDD Partners Pep Talk. So these series are going to be short, sweet, to the point, and something that you can listen to when you are in your relationship with your PMDD partner and you are spiraling like I've been so many times where I'm wanting to break up and I just need something to listen to really quickly to get me back on track, to remind me of what I really want, which is to be with my PMDD partner. And today's episode is going to be all about the one thing that tends to make us have the most stress in our PMDD relationship. And that is PMDD rage ruining your PMDD relationship? So I'm going to give you 5 PMDD trauma transformational tools on what it is that you can do if you really feel like the problem that you're having the most is that PMDD rage is ruining your relationship. You can't even get back on the same page because you're still so angry about the last thing that your PMDD partner did. You're rethinking about the last things that your PMDD partner said, and you just can't move forward because you feel like, oh, like I should be with someone better. I shouldn't be with someone who would say this, who would do this. And I want to give you some tools on what you can do to get yourself back on the same page before you go to talk to your PMDD partner. So many times we try to go and like, okay, I'm in this uncomfortable place and I know that I need to talk to my PMDD partner. So even though I'm angry, let me just go and try to talk to them right now. And what happens is you end up re-triggering yourself. You end up getting angry all over again because they say something that reminds you of the very thing that you have that anger, that PMDD rage about, and then you're angry all over again. So I want to first talk to you about what is PMDD rage. We've all felt it. It is that feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach when your partner does something or says something to trigger you. So when this happens, you notice a complete shift in your whole atmosphere. You're no longer calm. You may feel like, I know for me, I feel like my body heats up, my heart rate gets, it's very quick. It's very quick when I get into PMDD rage and I start to feel like I'm going to explode. It's uncontrollable, but I want you to know that there is a way that you can manage your PMDD rage healthily and getting your point across, because that was my biggest thing. It was like, I don't want to let go of this PMDD rage because I have a point. There's a reason why I'm angry right now. And I want my PMDD partners to know this. So here is the first PMDD trauma transformational tool. I want you to understand the root cause of your PMDD rage. What triggers you about your PMDD partner, something that they've said and that they've done. So if you've been stressed out, think about if you've been stressed out at work, if you've been stressed out at home with the kids, if you've been stressed out about outside things and your partner is just a person that puts like the icing on the cake. I know that's happened to me so many times where I'm already stressed out and I'm dealing with a lot. And then I come home and my PMDD partner says one thing that triggers me. And then all of a sudden, all of that stress that I have from those outside things are combined with what he said and did. And then all of a sudden I'm spiraling out of, control. And it's because I haven't dealt with all of this pent up anger and frustration that I've been carrying around for weeks, months, days. And I want you to understand that sometimes the root cause of your PMDD rage is not specifically your partner, but your PMDD partner may have been the person that made it go overboard, meaning they did the icing on the cake. The last comment did it. Like you couldn't take any more. Like you were taking it and taking it and taking it. And then they said one wrong thing. And then all of a sudden, you exploded in PMDD rage. So when you've identified your PMDD triggers to your PMDD rage, we have to develop a plan to deal with them in a healthy manner. If certain circumstances have made you angry over the past days, weeks, months, like we need to find out a way to minimize those triggers so that your partner isn't the one that ignites the last trigger. And then all of a sudden you assume that they are the target. They are the reason why you're angry when it's really all of these other things. So I want you to really think about what is the root cause of your triggers. When I had to do this, I understood that the root cause of my trigger is being stressed and overwhelmed. If I have too many things on my plate, that's automatically I'm getting triggered. And then if my partner adds something to my plate, then I get triggered and I automatically think, oh, it's my partner that triggered me, when in reality, I put too much on my plate. I took on too much. I said yes when I should have said no. And that was the reason why I was like overwhelmingly triggered, and it caused me to have PMDD rage. So the second PMDD trauma transformational tool is to constructively express your PMDD rage. I know for me, if I know that I have a lot of PMDD rage bottled up, I need to move my body. I need to work out. I need to go on a walk. I need to go on a run. I need to go on a hike. I need to walk around. I can't just sit there and have that PMDD rage inside of me, because when it comes out in an argument, it's like even though I'm arguing and I'm expressing this deep, deep anger, I'm still feeling the need to physically do something. It's like I want to smash something. I want to punch something. I want to do something that's going to get this negative energy out, because I feel like I'm containing it and it's too much for me to have, like, to just contain all on my own. So I need to find a way to get that out. So that's why so many times when I notice that PMDD rage is coming on, I need to get up, get out, and move my body. And most of the time that's outside, because I don't want to be enclosed in a certain area, because I feel like I could see something, like something's out of order, something's not organized, and it can just cause me to get in PMDD rage all over again. So the third PMDD trauma transformational tool is improve your communication skills about your PMDD rage. So one of the best things that you can do is to communicate to your partner, I'm in PMDD rage. Like, let them know what this is. Like, let them listen to this podcast and really understand that PMDD rage is a thing. And so when you feel yourself starting to get into it, let your partner know. Don't let them know at the last minute when it's too late, when they can't do anything about it. I want you to stop focusing on your partner as the enemy and start focusing on them as your partner and saying, listen, we're going to deal with this together. We're going to go to battle with PMDD rage together. And in order to get them on your side instead of another thing that you have to fight against you, is you need to communicate them when you're starting to feel like you're getting into PMDD rage. Immediately tell your PMDD partner, I'm starting to feel PMDD rage, so that they can help you. And start to see it from their perspective. Start to see, what is your PMDD partner thinking when you're telling them that you're in PMDD rage? Do they even know? Remember that everybody communicates different. So if you're waiting until you're already angry and then you're trying to tell your partner, I'm in PMDD rage, but now you've already triggered them, they can't really help you if they feel like they need to be defensive at this point. So the fourth PMDD trauma transformational tool is understand that you cannot control people. You cannot control your partner, but you can control yourself. So one of the most important things to remember when you're managing your PMDD rage is you can't control your PMDD partner's reaction. You can't control their actions, but you can control yourself. So when you feel yourself getting triggered, that's when you need to pull it back. You can't put that on your PMDD partner and say, oh, you triggered me, so you're the problem. You're the one that was triggered. So you need to know what to do when you're triggered and go to do that as soon as you feel yourself being triggered by your PMDD partner. And it's not about what happens. It's about your attitude, your behaviors, your emotions, your reactions to what happens to you. So it's your PMDD partner is going to trigger you. That is a fact. But that doesn't mean that they're at fault for it, because they could be doing something that they don't even know that could trigger you, but they're doing it. But I want you to know you have the power to control that, but you have to be so self-aware that when you recognize, oh my goodness, my PMDD partner is doing something to trigger it, don't look for your PMDD partner to fix it. Don't look at them and say, oh, I can't believe you did this. Start to look within yourself and say, okay, I'm triggered. My PMDD partner triggered me. Now, what can I do about it? So the next thing, the final PMDD trauma transformational tool for understanding when PMDD rage is ruining your relationship is to use the 2-part PMDD trauma transformational tool technique. This 2-part technique is a really effective way from stepping back from your PMDD rage. So instead of focusing on all the reasons that you have your PMDD rage, take a step back and observe the feeling of PMDD rage itself. Start to think about what that feels like in your body. Observe it, because a lot of times the PMDD rage sticks around because it wants you to pay attention to it. So if you're starting to ignore it, if you're trying to hold it in, there's so many times where I've been in PMDD rage and I'm like, no, I don't want to react. No, I don't want to do anything about it. And all I do is get more and more worked up. And all the feeling wants me to do is just to pay attention to it. So I want you to pay attention to the PMDD rage. The goal is not to dismiss the PMDD rage. It's to observe it and to let it go. Take 3 deep breaths with your eyes closed. Feel the PMDD rage. Accept it. Accept that you're in PMDD rage, because a lot of times that's the fight. You're like, I got this. I'm calm. When you know good and well that you're really angry. Right? You really, really know that you're in that PMDD rage. Just accept, I'm in PMDD rage. Wherever you feel it in your body, accept it, clench your fist if you have to, and then release them. For me, I hold a lot of my tension when I'm in PMDD rage in my shoulders. Let your shoulders go up and then release them. Visualize the PMDD rage going away. Imagine that your PMDD rage is floating away into a giant balloon. You've accepted it. You've embraced it. You're like, okay, I surrender. I know I'm in PMDD rage. I know that this triggered me. And now I need to let it go. So I want you to understand, when you have PMDD rage is a normal emotion. It's not going anywhere. This is why I teach you so many tools to manage it, because as long as you have PMDD, it's not going anywhere. So it's impossible to control what other people do. They're always going to trigger you. So your partner is always going to trigger you, but it's what you can do to manage your PMDD rage that is going to improve your relationship. This includes understanding what you can do to get yourself out of PMDD rage, and understanding that you're the one getting the PMDD rage. Your partner's not the enemy. They're triggering you. But if they weren't triggering you, the other closest thing would be triggering you. Your kids would be triggering you. Your coworkers would be triggering you. So don't just think that, oh, your partner is the thing. Because if you get rid of your partner and say, oh, I'm going to break up with my PMDD partner and then I won't have the triggers anymore, there is going to be somebody or something that's going to trigger you. And the only reason that your PMDD partner triggers you, it's because they are the closest entity to you. When you are in an intimate relationship, it is intimate. So they are going to trigger you because they're the closest thing to you, not because they're a bad person, not because you're with the wrong person, not because you're supposed to be in a different relationship. It is because any partner that you get, even if you swap out partners, they're going to trigger you. So it's about time that you start to manage your PMDD rage so that you can have the PMDD relationship that you desire and deserve. You got this. I hope this PMDD episode helped you and your partner in your struggles within your relationship. And if this is something that you know that you need help with and you need further support, individualized support, make sure you're going to inlovewithpmdd.com and you're getting those private sessions to really work through what you're going through in your relationship, specifically in regards to PMDD. And also, I want you to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. What this does is it helps other PMDD sufferers and partners find this show that can help them get these free PMDD relationship tools. I remember what it felt like to not know that there were tools out there specifically for PMDD relationships. So I want to make sure that you are sharing these tools with others, share them on your social media, share them with people that you know that are also struggling in their PMDD relationships. Until next episode, this is Dr. Rose, your PMDD relationship psychotraumatologist. One more thing, I almost forgot. I now have the Fresh Start PMDD Partners workbook. What this workbook can do is if you've had past traumatic experiences with your partner, past fights, past arguments, and they keep coming up every single month in PMDD, I created a Fresh Start workbook so that you can deal with all of the traumatic experience that have happened in the past in PMDD rage and all of these things so you can stop going through the same cycle again and again and again. So get that workbook. It comes with a video episode of the actual podcast that I recorded on getting a fresh start in your PMDD relationship. So you're not continuing the same cycle again and again and again. So make sure that you get that workbook. And if you need those individualized counseling sessions, you know where to go, inlovewithpmdd.com. Until next time, we got this. Love you.